and welcome to a new episode of Cynda Tells TV. Today I have with me Mike MAKSIN, who is one of our top agents here at the Cynda Sells Real Estate Company. And we decided that we would talk a little bit about the multiple offer situation that we as real estate agents have experienced this last couple of years, and how it affects and kind of the things that happen behind the scenes that maybe you as a buyer or a seller that are watching, you don't quite understand how sticky of a wicket this is when we go through these multiple offer situations. But we had a situation almost a year ago with a seller that had their home on the market, and I'm going to let you take it from there, Mike, and kind of say that how many offers. And
so as agents, we you know when you're going to have a hot one, and you got to gear up for the madness that's going to occur.
For sure.
And especially you got to gear up the seller, because basically as in this market, we had 12 showings in one day, and we had 5 offers, and all 5 offers were very, very competitive. And weeding through all that at the end of the day was very stressful for all parties involved. But the odd part is that because of the connection, there was a connection.
Well, before you go there, I just want to say you had 3 that were mortgage loans and 2 cash.
Correct.
So that's an important part of the story. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right, and at the seller's discretion, they did not choose the cash offers because there was some connection through church or through some other avenue that there was the connection between the one of the buyer's offers and the sellers, and they really wanted these people to have this house.
So even against his advice, which he thought would the cash offers were higher. They were cash,
right?
No loan, none of this kind of stuff. But because the seller loved the buyer and knew the buyer, they chose that. Now, I know some of the agents out there are writing letters to. We
had lots of letters at the time too.
Writing letters, and sometimes I will tell you, folks. Sometimes it works, and
the letters definitely worked on this one.
But sometimes they don't work. It depends on who the seller is.
Right.
But what was interesting about this then was that it was a difficult deal.
Very difficult, yeah, because the seller had the time, though. They were in a position that they could select who they wanted to select, and time was not an issue for them.
Well, then also their home was under contract, and then it went out from under contract. So then you weren't under contract for a while with this as well.
Right.
And so that created a big problem. Now your sellers wanted to stay in the game with them.
No, they were in it for the long haul.
And eventually it happened. So the point that we kind of want to make to you, as the realtors that are experiencing multiple offers, they know those that are working for sellers, they know what they're up against. But you've been on, and I've been on both sides of that.
Oh yeah.
You've been on the losing side and the winning side.
Yep, exactly. It's fun to be on the winning side, but you definitely get hardened over time in terms of how these offers are going to go. You got to be quick. When that listing hits the market, you got to get on the calendar, because I had another listing where we had the same deal. We had 15 showings in one day and 3 offers, and then agents were still trying to get in the next day, even though we had called off after day 1, because we had 3 legit offers and there's no reason to continue on. And agents get upset, buyers, I totally get that. When you miss your window to see a house, it's disappointing.
Well, and to that rate, it makes me think that I had a situation last year where I think I had 50 showings in 2 days, and it was insane. And my sellers couldn't go home.
Right.
They couldn't take their dog. It was a mess.
My guys couldn't go home till 8:30 at night.
Right.
And they started at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Right. And so as wonderful it is that the buyers want to buy, I think that they need to be, as agents, we need to be telling them, and buyers need to understand that, people live in these homes too. Mm-hmm. And my sellers actually shut down the showings. And I started getting irate phone calls from people that wanted to look at it, from agents. I had no choice. Showing time will not let us do overlapping appointments. So that just creates another stick in the mud of in the muck of what we're trying to get accomplished here.
Right, because my sellers were declining 8:30, 9 o'clock showings, which I don't know why anybody would show in the dark anyway, but they were declining them, and then that creates work on the agents. We have
Right.
to go back and explain to the other agent, hey, we're kind of done here.
So, I mean, it is difficult. The sad news about it is that, you know, buyers are frustrated. They want to buy homes, and they can't get in to see the properties. But the advice that we always give to our agents here and others are, get in as soon as that baby hits the market. You should be, if you've got a client
Right.
that's looking for a home right now, you need to be watching the market like a hawkeye.
Yep.
Because and on it all the time, even though you may have them on an auto feed to get listings to look at, you need to be looking at them every hour on the hour to make sure that you don't miss anything. And then if you have to go in there, I've even said, I'll go in there. If you can't get away from work or you can't get away, I'll go in there. I will film. I'll get permission to take pictures or whatever while I'm in there, but I'll get in there to show the property so that you can see what's going on, and then we'll make the offer. Don't wait. Don't use that as an excuse that your seller couldn't get off work. As agents need to get busy. That's what they're doing, representing that buyer, and they need to get busy and get in to look at those properties. Now, the reason that this one, the one contract transaction we were talking about earlier, got to be even a little bit more complicated, and why we decided to make this video is that one of the agents, you said one of the agents called you afterwards and wanted to know why you didn't, they were a cash offer, and
right. Why they weren't selected.
why they were not selected, because they actually offered more money.
Correct.
And so understand that ultimately, even though we advise our clients to do one thing and the other, a seller has, as long as they're complying with fair housing, they have the right to choose whatever offer they want with whomever person they want, as long as we're complying with fair housing, and that is the way that it works. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight. Mike, is there any other things you want to just...
I'll just go back to the fact that buying and selling houses is a very emotional decision, and people rely on their heart and their guts when they're making decisions either to buy or sell a home.
Exactly. So I hope that gives you guys out there that are thinking about buying or in the midst of buying, so you kind of see maybe both sides of that a little bit better. And at any rate, we're sure glad that you stopped by today, and thank you so much for always visiting us and keeping watching our videos on Facebook. You can reach out to us anytime at 816-600-7355. You can call Mike direct at
816-892-0788.
He'll be happy to help you find the home of your dreams, or list the home that isn't going to be your dreams anymore so you can find a new one, right?
Exactly.
Thanks for stopping by, and have a great day.